Hello students, good afternoon. Welcome to the chemistry classes and welcome to the second part of the equilibrium. Today in this part we will discuss about the equilibrium between gases and liquids. So as we know that gases can be dissolved in liquid, but all the gases are not soluble in all liquids. So at a particular temperature, the solubility of gas in particular solvents depends on its pressure. As we know that as the pressure increases, the solubility of gas into the solvent also increases. But when a gas is dissolved in a solvent at a particular temperature and pressure, a dynamic equilibrium is established, which can be shown in the as follows. So there is also a limit. You can compress any gas into the liquid. Above that point you cannot mix any gas in a solvent. Okay, so now at equilibrium, the rate at which gas molecule passes into the solution become equal to the rate at which dissolved gas molecule come back into the gaseous phase. Means when they dissolve and after that they will come out again. So this condition will continue. This is known as the equilibrium condition. Okay, so as mentioned above, the solubility of gas in liquid depends upon the pressure. This is given by a law that is known as the Henry's law. Okay, so what is the Henry's law? This law was given by the William Henry in 1803. The law can be stated as follows. What does say this law? The mass of a gas that dissolve in a given mass of solvent at a particular constant temperature is proportional to the pressure of the gas at equilibrium. Means any mass of any gas at constant temperature will be equal to किसके pressure के. Means m directly proportional to small p. If you remove this proportional, then one constant will come here, that is known as the k and p, and this k is known as the Henry's constant. Okay, so now limitations of Henry's law. So Henry's law is applicable to ideal gases only. However, the law can be applied to real gases at low pressure when the real gases approach to behavior of ideal gases. Okay, the law is not applicable to those gases which undergo a chemical change in the solution. मीन्स ऐसी गैसेस पे एप्लीकेबल नहीं होता है जो केमिकल चेंज शो कर दें गैसेस. फॉर एग्जांपल, द लॉ कैन नॉट बी अप्लाइड टू द अमोनिया which react with water to form ammonium hydroxide. So for these type of gases, this law is not applicable. The law cannot be applied to those gases which dissociate into ions in the solution. For example, the law cannot be applied to the HCl solution, HCl gas, because it dissociate into H plus and Cl minus ion solution. So these type of the gases, the Henry's law is not applicable. Okay, a soda water bottle contains CO2 gas dissolved in the water at a higher pressure and possesses the following equilibrium: CO2 gas and CO2 in solution. Since the bottle is sealed at high pressure, there is a plenty of gas dissolved in water and the gas pressure above the solution is high. When the bottle is opened, the pressure gets lowered and become equal to the atmospheric pressure. Therefore, the dissolved CO2 gas fizzes out rapidly to reach a new equilibrium corresponding to the atmospheric pressure. ठीक है, जैसे आप बोतल खोलते हो तो वो गैस रिलीज होती है और वो गैस क्या होगा, अपने आप को इन्वायरमेंटल या एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर के इक्वल कर लेगा. ठीक है, और एक नया इक्विलिब्रियम अटेन हो जाएगा. ओके, सो देयर इज वन क्वेश्चन यू कैन सी हियर एट द हेनरी लॉ कांस्टेंट. इन दिस क्वेश्चन कह रहा है कि एट 20 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड सॉल्युबिलिटी ऑफ N2 गैस इन वाटर इज 0.0150 ग्राम पर लीटर. When the partial pressure of the gas is 580 tar, so find the solubility of nitrogen in water. So according to the Henry's law, m डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू Kp और K को हम लिख सकते हैं m/P. So at different pressure P1 and P2, the masses will be M2, M1 of N2 dissolved in 1 liter of the water are given by K equals to M1/P1 equals to K equals to M2/P2. अगर इनको हम इक्वलाइज करें तो M1/P1 equals to M2/P2. इन द गिवन केस M1 गिवन है, M2 हमको कैलकुलेट करना है, P1 580 टार गिवन है एंड P2 800 टार आल्सो गिवन है. Substituting the value on above equation, and now you can calculate the value of M2, which will come 0.0207 gram. Hence, the solubility of nitrogen in water at 20 degree centigrade is 0.027 gram per liter. Okay. So next, chemical equilibrium. What is the chemical equilibrium? The equilibrium which involve in physical processes are known as physical, but here the equilibrium which involves which exists between a chemicals or a chemical reactions are known as chemical equilibrium. Okay. So in chemical equilibrium there are two types of basically chemical reactions are known, that are irreversible and reversible. Irreversible reaction means the chemical reaction which proceeds mainly in one direction, that is from left to right. From left to right are known as the irreversible reactions. These reactions go to completion or almost completion. एक मतलब तो कंप्लीट हो रही होती हैं, ऑलमोस्ट कंप्लीट होती हैं. ऐसी रिएक्शंस को हम बोलते हैं इरिवर्सिबल रिएक्शन. इसमें एग्जांपल है 2Na plus 2H2O gives 2NaOH plus H2. Other examples you can see for reversible reaction, those type of the reactions which can proceed in both the direction, means from left to right and also from right to left, and these type of reactions are known as the equilibrium reactions or reversible reactions. There are other examples of irreversible reactions are given here. You can see that calcium carbonate decomposes to give calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. It is a type of irreversible reaction. It is another example. Now come reversible. So reversible reaction proceed in both directions. For example, A plus B gives C plus D. Then C plus D again break to give A plus B. So this condition is known as the reversible reaction. Some examples of reversible reactions are 3Fe plus 4H2O gives Fe3O4 plus 4H2. Other N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3. So these reactants are converted into the product, but these product again break to give reactant. So these type of reaction will move in both the directions. So they are known as the reversible reaction. So chemical equilibrium and its dynamic nature. So in order to understand the attainment and meaning of the chemical reaction equilibrium, now let us consider a equation, that is A plus P gives C plus D. When the reactant A and B are mixed together and gives product C plus D, then what will be what condition will develop? That is, if you draw a plot between rate of the reaction and time, so you can see here the rate of the forward reaction and rate of the backward reaction at a point become equal, and this condition is known as the chemical equilibrium. Okay. So chemical equilibrium is a particular state of reversible reaction in which the forward and backward reaction occurs at the same rate and the concentration of all the reactant and product remain constant. Okay. So the concept of the chemical equilibrium can be understood by the following example, that is H2 plus I2 are combined at 2717 Kelvin temperature and gives hydrogen iodide. Okay. So dynamic nature of equilibrium. What is the dynamic nature of equilibrium? So according to the dynamic nature of equilibrium, when the concentration of the reactant and concentration of the product become equal, means at a point they cannot be converted into each other, then that condition is known as dynamic equilibrium. Okay. Now come to the characteristics of chemical equilibrium. So first is constancy of the observable properties. So as we know that when the equilibrium will attain, then some properties like temperature and the concentration of the reactant and product will be equal. Okay. Attainment of the equilibrium from the either side. So the state of equilibrium can be attained from either side. It makes no difference whether we start from reactant side or from the product side. ये मैटर नहीं करेगा. For example, let us consider the following equilibrium: 2H2 plus I2 gives 2HI. So if you take the reaction from reactant side, means from H2 plus I2 gives 2HI, or from product side means H2 breaks into H2 plus I2. Next, the equilibrium cannot be attained in open container, because in open container the vapors will go out in the environment and there will be no possibility of attainment of the equilibrium. Equilibrium point remains unchanged in the presence of a catalyst, means if any reaction is at equilibrium and you are added any catalyst, so then there will be no effect of the catalyst on the equilibrium, means catalyst does not affect the equilibrium, because the function of catalyst is that they can only initiate the reaction but not alter the reaction. Okay.